It's okay. This will be fine. Hi, my name is Caitlin Grace, and today I'm going to be presenting how to curl hair. So right now I have a nice little before and after. This is my assistant, Chloe. She came all the way down from Vermont for this. Right, Chloe? That's why you came down?
Mm-hmm.
Precisely. Yeah. So let's get into it. So for my first slide, what I wanted to talk about was some famous curls in American history. So this is going to start in 1950, where I'd like to begin. For the most famous curls, in my opinion, Marilyn Monroe. She was known for her platinum, like very big Hollywood glamorous curls. She made this actually super accessible and like easy to do at home. Not only were they alluring, but they could be done by anybody. She would use methods like finger coiling, like waving your hair just like this, like with gel, and she'd also use big curlers. Next, we have someone a little bit more modern, and when I mean a little bit, I mean very, Sabrina Carpenter. She takes lots of style inspiration actually from Marilyn Monroe, but rather than using it to conform to societal standards of women, she actually kind of goes against it. As we know, clothing is a little bit more like plain, hair is usually a little bit more waved, but what Sabrina does is she actually goes back to that Hollywood glamour to use it as self-expression and to kind of like make her own identity within the music industry. This is a theory called hair theory. And basically what hair theory is that you will not become famous if your hair is normal. Like think Chappelle Roan, the big red curly hair, Slim Shady, Eminem, the shaved like blonde, Marilyn Monroe, big curls, Sabrina Carpenter, big curls. There's always something. I mean, you can even think back to like Sexy Red, like all the hair, like something bright, something fun, something different. Next, I just want to say that this is so easy. Literally a piece of cake. Anybody can do it. A dad learning how to do his daughter's hair for school. You want to do your hair for prom. Anybody can do it. So let's get started on materials. First thing, a hairbrush. Second thing, a curling iron. Third, heat protectant spray. And fourth, hairspray. Don't get those two mixed up. No. So I'm gonna have Chloe turn just like this. And so basically, as you can see, for this side of the hair, we had her curl it outwards. This is because of her face shape. We don't want to go in because it's just gonna kind of swallow her face. It's gonna be hidden. We don't want that. We want to curl out for her. And as you can see, it's all going in the same direction until we turn back here. Here you can see a little bit of actual alternation to create volume and definition with the hair. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to section her hair. I'm going to go right to the crown and to the ear. We want to leave some of that down there, just like that. And what I like to use to section hair is a nice claw clip. So I already went in and I already sprayed her whole head with heat protectant, just so it could dry for time purposes. But what you want to do is after that, you want to just make sure it's all brushed again. I already brushed it before, but we just want to be extra safe. We don't want any snaggles. Then you're going to take your curling iron. So for these pieces down here, as I referenced earlier, you're going to take a 1-inch section and you're going to curl it outward. Now, what the most important thing is with the curling barrel, you actually want it pointed down and almost maybe a little bit out. The thing is when you curl it upwards, instead of this like nice soft wave, which is really popular right now, it's going to be almost like colonial George Washington, like cinched up scrunch. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep doing that until we hit the line of the ear. And then that's where we're going to start alternating to create that definition and volume. And then during this time in real life, I would ask people if they had questions. Boom, just like that. Now that we're right here behind the ear, I'm gonna take this piece and I'm actually gonna put it on top of the curling barrel rather than underneath. So we just did that piece on top. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this next piece, which is about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna put it under. Wrap it right over. And like I said earlier, face it down. And you would just keep doing that pattern until you reach this side. And then once again, you'd stop alternating and you just do it all facing the same direction. Now, we're gonna drop this section right on down. And then we're going to take Chloe's bang pieces. Some people like to do this part last. I personally like to do it a little bit earlier, so I just kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. Oh, that was my computer making a noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave about 4 inches uncurled at the root of her hair. That way it's not like coiled up right at the root, because that kind of gives it almost like a funky look. Not 80s funky, just funky like you did something wrong to your hair. Take another piece, curl it that same direction. Also, I'm gonna have salon music playing, but I didn't want to do it because I didn't know if the camera would be able to pick it up and my voice at the same time. Just gonna keep going through. And as you can see, there's some steam almost coming off the curling iron. That is not her hair burning. That's actually the heat protectant burning so her hair doesn't get burnt. It acts as a barrier. This heat protectant works up to 450 and our curling iron is only at 370. So we have a little bit less than 100 that we can keep going up to, but we're not going to do that because Chloe actually has finer hair, but she has a lot of it. And because she has finer hair, but a lot of it, what we're going to do at the end of it is instead of using a texture spray, we're actually going to use a hairspray. That way it can cling on to each individual piece. So after we finish that section, you can see that we just got to like the tip of her ear. You want to turn in for me? And then you can see that this is where we'd start alternating all over again. So really it's just pattern. That's all curling hair is. Once you get it down and you understand your face shape, your hair texture, what type of curls you want, that makes it way easier. So Chloe really likes beach waves. This is kind of like what it's looking like right now before we actually shake it out and put some hairspray in it. This is a, Jesus Christ, my computer keeps beeping. This is a curling wand, not a curling iron. So this is gonna create more of a relaxed look. And that's what Chloe prefers. That's like more of the trend, like I was referencing earlier, comparatively to 1950s Marilyn Monroe, like glamour curls. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finger coil these. And then after I finger coil them, just to like make it a little bit more relaxed, I'm going to go in with hairspray. I'm going to turn. Just to be nice, cover the eyes. And maybe put a mask. And yeah, so they'll also drop a little bit. So if you're going out to an event and you don't want your curls super curly, this is what it looks like before. I curled my hair probably at what, like 9 a.m. today? And same thing. This is what it's going to look like 9 hours later. So you still have volume, a little bit less definition, but you know, that's kind of expected. And then this is the part where I'd flip to my question slide and then I'd go, does anyone have any questions? And then of course someone would have a question because that's a part of the assignment. You have someone that has a question for you. So I'd be like, yeah, Brian, what's your question? And then Brian would all be like, da-da-da-da-da, what type of curling iron do you use if you want this type of curl? And I'd be like, oh, you want an even more relaxed curl? Oh, you want to use a 2.5-inch barrel. That's going to be a bigger curl, and that's going to be bigger and bouncier. Then he's going to be like, oh, how do I get a smaller curl? And I'll be like, oh, Brian, you're going to want to use a 0.5 curler. That's going to get you spirally, like, curls, like Sex and the City curls. Exactly. And then everyone claps, because everyone claps, because... I have a real life audience.
Wow.
I feel like that counts as extra credit.
Yes. Please.
Please. Please. Please. Please. Thank you so much for watching my presentation. Oh!